Nicholas Grayson, a billionaire with a heart hardened by betrayal and power, never imagined that a simple trip to the countryside would change his life forever. He was escaping the suffocating walls of his mansion, seeking solitude by the river where his mother once took him as a child. As he stood by the water's edge, lost in thought, he heard soft singing. Turning, he saw a young woman washing clothes, her dark skin glistening under the sun, her voice full of sorrow. He was captivated, not only by her beauty but by the pain in her eyes, a pain he recognized all too well. Jasmine had spent her entire life struggling. Orphaned at a young age, she was raised by a cruel aunt who treated her like a servant. She found peace by the river, where she washed clothes for the wealthy in the village, dreaming of a life beyond the hunger and insults. When she saw the stranger watching her, she stiffened. Rich men only brought trouble. But Nicholas wasn't like the others. He spoke to her with a gentleness she had never known. For the first time, someone looked at her as more than just a poor orphan. Days turned into weeks, and Nicholas returned to the river again and again. Jasmine remained guarded, knowing that men like him lived in a world far beyond her reach. But against her better judgment, she began to open up, sharing stories of her suffering, her hopes, and the loneliness that haunted her. Nicholas, too, revealed his scars, betrayals that had made him believe love was a weakness. The river became their sanctuary, a place where wealth and poverty didn't matter. Until one evening, Nicholas made a bold declaration: "Come with me. Leave this place. Be my wife." Jasmine thought it was a joke. How could a billionaire marry someone like her? She refused, afraid of a life where people would call her a gold digger, where she would be unwelcome in his world. But Nicholas was persistent. He didn't care about society's rules. He wanted her by his side. Against all odds, Jasmine agreed, believing love could conquer all. But the moment she stepped into his mansion, reality struck. His family was waiting, and they were furious. Nicholas' sister, Eleanor, despised Jasmine from the start. "She's after your money, Nicholas," she spat, her cold blue eyes burning with disgust. His business partners whispered behind his back, warning him that love was a distraction. Jasmine, overwhelmed by hate, began to question her decision. But Nicholas stood firm, defending her at every turn. "She is my wife," he declared. "And I will not let anyone ruin what we have." The wedding, though extravagant, was stained with tension. Jasmine walked down the aisle feeling more like an intruder than a bride. She smiled through the ceremony, but behind closed doors, she cried herself to sleep. And then, the betrayal came. Eleanor had set a cruel trap, an innocent dinner invitation that turned into a nightmare. Jasmine arrived at the restaurant, only to be humiliated in front of the city's elite. A street girl in designer clothes, Eleanor sneered, laughter filling the room. Nicholas wasn't there to protect her. That night, Jasmine disappeared. Nicholas searched everywhere. Days passed, then weeks. When he finally found her, she was back by the river, her wedding ring left on a rock. "I don't belong in your world," she whispered. He begged her to return, but she refused. Love alone wasn't enough. She needed respect, not just affection. Nicholas, shattered, walked away. But he wasn't done fighting. Months later, he returned, not as a billionaire, but as a man stripped of all arrogance. He had cut ties with his toxic family, sold his mansion, and built a home by the river. "I don't need the world, Jasmine. I just need you." Tears filled her eyes. He had chosen her, not out of impulse, but out of understanding. And in that moment, she realized, Love wasn't about wealth or status. It was about sacrifice, about choosing someone even when the world said otherwise. Their love story did not end in a castle but in a modest house by the water, where Nicholas and Jasmine built a life free from judgment. Eleanor never apologized, but she was powerless against their happiness. The world whispered, but Jasmine no longer cared. She had found her place, not in wealth, but in love.